All right, I realize a few of you may have been watching the Masters yesterday or trapped under something heavy. Maybe you lost your phone, someone stole it. So just in case the jump is here for you, this is what Russell Westbrook did last night.
Adams gives it back to Russ. Deep shot. Get it! What a perfect ending to a historic day. Westbrook gives the Thunder the victory at the buzzer.
Can we go slow-mo on his celebration afterward, right? I mean, there are Olympic hurdlers who can't pull off that height.
I do.
And that basket officially knocked the Nuggets out of the playoffs, which would explain the looks on some of the faces of the fans. Let's zoom in and examine this still photo, shall we?
Shout out to
There's
Jade.
this gentleman who either is very upset or perhaps just answering back.
Yes.
Head in hands, I'm just going to drink away my troubles guy. And then there's this little kid who just can't believe it.
Oh, come on.
I mean, come on. The rest of us are annoyed that someone has enough spare cash. A little kid is sitting courtside. But that is a whole different issue, people. Now, Russ had already earned his 42nd triple-double of the season earlier in the night, which, of course, officially broke Oscar Robertson's record. But it should also be noted that final bucket gave Russ his 50th point, making it his third 50-point-plus triple-double of the season, more than any other player in NBA history has had in a career.
Wow.
Russ is also continuing to be the NBA's best clutch player this season. He leads the league with 4 go-ahead field goals in the final 10 seconds of games. The performance was enough for Blake Griffin, who tweeted, "Wow, Russ, give that man the MVP." Also Damian Lillard, who dropped 59 himself this weekend. Russ, MVP, bro. Now, LeBron James and Kevin Love didn't take it quite that far, but hey, they did take a moment from this week's Let's Make Cavaliers fans scratch their eyes out tour to mark Russ's accomplishments as well. So that was nice of them. Of course, whether Russ has really made the case for MVP depends on who you ask. Harden, Kawhi, LeBron, they all have their very heated defenders. If we had an MEP, on the other hand, I'm not sure there'd be any contest because as he showed again yesterday, even when he's knocking your team out of the playoffs, Russell Westbrook is this season's most exciting player, hands down. Now, Stax, I know that you are in the Russ MVP camp very firmly. And as I've noted, there have been so many players, current players, Hall of Fame players who are with you. Now, players don't always have the best track record of voting for things. We had the vote a couple years ago for MVP. We had the All-Star voting this year. The players did not show themselves in that respect. But why is it so important in this race that we listen to some players? Stump for your case.
Well, as being a professional athlete myself, and watching so many basketball games, I've never seen a season so dominant by a player like this in my life. So, and I love the game. You know how much I love the game. So to see something that for the first time in my life that I've never seen done by a player, you have to give him his props. And I think every player in the league understands what he's doing. It's unbelievable. And you have to give props when props due.
Yeah, I mean, the trouble is when you have the degree of difficulty of what he's doing. And it's not a one-game thing. So I always like to say this. If you come to me in October, someone might score 100 in a game or someone might average a triple-double this season. You got to put money on it. What would you put money on? I put 100 in a game because somebody can get hot for one night and have the night of their life. But to do this every single day, that's tough, especially when you consider they're winning in those games. It's not like, so I was at the game in Phoenix where he was trying to break the record. They were down big, and it was kind of ridiculous. That's not the norm, though. The norm is he gets it, and they win because he gets it.
Should the fact that so many players are sort of this tidal wave, should voters who are not players, by the way, or media people, should they take that into account? Or, hey, players don't have the best track record, that's separate?
No, I feel like people should vote how they feel they should vote. You should not be swayed by outside influences.
I mean, Stephen Jackson's pretty convincing.
He is, but only in a room. Like, if I'm not in the same room, I'm like, I'm voting whoever I want.
Well, we do also have to talk about James Harden because it might not have been as flashy as what Russ was doing last night, but he was on fire yesterday, scoring or having assists on 72 points. I want you to let that sink in. That is insane. If you combine the points he's scored with points he's partly responsible for through assists, he's actually producing 59 points per game right now. And, you know, his team is well winning, with both Harden and Rockets GM Daryl Morey say that should matter to MVP voters.
I thought winning was what this was about, period. So I'm not going to get into depth with all that, but I thought winning was the most important thing.
In the NBA, it's too easy to put up round numbers and special numbers up on an average team. If you look at the history of the MVP, it's always gone to, a contending team who's put up, special numbers for that reason.
So, I mean, look, I might also throw in Kawhi Leonard's team has won 7 more games than Harden's Rockets team. I don't know how that falls into their equation, but is it right for James and for Daryl Morey to emphasize winning should matter more to MVP voters?
It's okay. Everyone's going to make their case, right? So that's the strength of their case, is that, well, his numbers aren't quite like Russell's, but we're winning, so that matters more. And I don't have a problem with them saying that. I have a problem with what Daryl Morey tweeted yesterday. He said something along the lines of AAU basketball, the All-Star game. Yeah. I guess winning doesn't matter in basketball anymore. I don't like that. I really don't like that, because now what he's doing is he's cutting to the heart of what our game is about. And I don't like him bashing basketball to make his point.
So, but they're really not saying anything. This guy lost the MVP and still 6th in the playoffs in the West. How was that not winning?
Right.
It's a lot of guys, a lot of teams that are healthy that have all their guys that are not making the playoffs. He lost the MVP and then broke the record for triple doubles and in the 6th spot. That is winning.
Right.
Everyone has a case.